Of course, there were all sorts of stories, Joe, about churning butter and stealing butter and ways to churn butter in these old folk tales, weren't there?
Oh, several. I have several stories heard and recorded for the commission, and I know that there were several ways of taking butter. Several. But I think the most successful method they had at the time was done through the means of what they call the law of marbh. The dead hand. The dead hand. And with that, together with the words, there was special words that had to be said by the maker of the butter. And he or she used the hand.
What was the dead hand?
Well, I'll tell you how they got it, the dead hand. We'll say that an old family would be dying out and there'd be no immediate relatives rather than a we'll say, a far-out cousin. And you had no hospitals the same as county homes like what you have now. The people at the time were dying in the old homes. And at the time, there used to be wakes, and big wakes. There used to be 2 days wakes. 2 nights wakes, I should say. And the person then that would want to dismember or dislocate an arm or amputate, when that person is dead, they'd take off that arm, the dead hand. Now, that was wrapped up for the time being in paper and brought home. It had to undergo, well, what do you call it, embalming. It had to be processed in such a way that it would hold, not to decay, water fire, pollute or anything like that. And that had to be kept in the house with the people that wanted to use the incantations and take the butter. Now, that poor person, an old woman or an old man that died, put into the coffin, and you don't know whether he had 2 hands or 3 hands, because they'd be drunk with whiskey and everything like that, and he or she'd be put into the coffin and off to the church and buried next day. But the hand was valuable to these people, very valuable. They kept the hand, God bless us and save us, and that it'd be preserved. We'd call it cured, I'd call it, like a bacon or a peak, and that'd be cured. And a certain amount of disinfections, but what would the disinfection consist of? They had no stuff like what they have today. What had they? Soot, chimney soot.
That's how they preserve it.
And they'd embalm it or they'd preserve it that way.
And what would they do with it? How was this useful for getting butter?
The cream would go into the churn. That's what I was told. Be put in there. Now, when that hand was taken down, this woman would say, I want Joe Flanagan's butter. I want Michael Cain's butter. I want, with the hand, together with the words. The hand was used through the cream. Oh, it wouldn't be hygiene now, it wouldn't. I don't think it would. The cream has done away with all this stuff. And that'd be worth 3 times the operator or the one that'd be making down that churn. It worth that.
And they'd get your butter?
Definitely.
They'd take your
100% they had it all taken.
They
were
were
deadly.
Wicked sort of people.
Well, they'd almost take it all. Wicked, 'twas wicked. But it's the words that was used with the dead hand. These are the valuable words, but of course
You don't know them, Joe?
No.